What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. COD Champs happened over the weekend, and a ton of different storylines emerged. Not only did we see Optic Texas take down Vancouver Surge for their second straight COD Champs, we also saw a viewership record for COD Champs in general, with over 350,000 viewers tuning in to see Optic Texas take the win. And then, of course, there's all of the crazy madness that will happen with the rosters post-COD Champs. But that's not the takeaway I have, because there's been a quote circulating from an interview with a Treyarch developer that happened right before COD Champs that's been my focus. Because I've seen this quote floating around the Call of Duty community, and a lot of people are latching onto it. And I think it's important that I remind you, everything Treyarch developers say right now is more or less marketing. It's not the truth. It could even be perceived as a lie, because that's what Treyarch developers have been doing for the last year and a half. They've been lying to us. Black Ops 6 marketing was more or less a lie. Look back at the original trailers for Black Ops 6. Tell me that was more or less what the campaign was. No, the truth didn't lie. The liars lied. So let's dive into this quote and let's dissect it. If you're a fan of Black Ops 2, especially Black Ops 2 competitive, you'll have a good time in Black Ops 7. Treyarch's associate design director. While on the surface, this sounds all well and good. This sounds like what a lot of people like myself would want. Wouldn't you want the game to be more like Black Ops 2? Of course I would. Of course I'd like it to be more like Black Ops 2 competitive. I've always heralded Black Ops 2 competitive scene as one of my favorites I've seen in all of Call of Duty. But I can't take this at face value. I can't take anything Treyarch says as honesty. Everything they're doing right now is trying to build up hype for Black Ops 7. They want you to believe in them again. Because I'll be honest, a lot of the belief has been lost over the lifespan of Black Ops 6. And we're only, 8 months into the game's life cycle. They've decided to just erode all of the goodwill they've built up over the past decade in favor of a game that they don't really care about, because they'd rather push all of their focus to the next game. Real smart guys. I'd love for this quote to be true, and honestly, it might be. It might turn out to be true, and I'll turn out to be the liar. I'll turn out to be the one that overreacted. And honestly, I'm fine with that. But I have to go with recency bias here. I have to go with what they've been showing us in the last little bit. And that's exactly what this quote is all about. They're telling us how to feel, how to think, how to believe in Black Ops 7, instead of showing us. And I know it's a little bit early, but every single time over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years that Call of Duty has been telling us things are going to be good, it's turned out to be bad. Whenever it comes time to pay what they've been saying, they underdeliver. Always. That's the problem with the franchise right now, is they build it up, they overpromise and underdeliver. And that's not what this community deserves at all. And yet that's what we're constantly receiving. And that's what I feel they're doing again. They're trying to build up Black Ops 7, get people all hyped, believe in the potential of what Black Ops 7 could be, hope for the best, and then get the worst. Like, this isn't me wishfully hoping Black Ops 7 sucks. I really want to get that across. I don't think there's a lot of people that are covering Call of Duty that hope and pray that the game sucks. No, we want it to be good. The problem is we're just not falling for clear marketing from the developers themselves. I can't believe what they say anymore because they've constantly been lying to us. They've constantly been selling us short. They want us to believe that everything's going to be great, and then everything is just mid or bad. That's not what this community deserves. It's time that their actions start aligning with their words, but they haven't been for quite some time. That's where the frustration lies within this community. That's where the frustration lies within this franchise. If their words started aligning with their actions and they actually wanted to build the biggest Black Ops game ever, they would do it. But they don't. And that's the problem. So when I see a quote like this circulating and people latching onto it and saying it's going to be a W, it's going to be the best Call of Duty ever, oh, Black Ops 7 is going to bring back COD, I just don't believe it. I just can't believe it. because we've been saying this for every Call of Duty. MW2 was supposed to bring back COD. MW3 was supposed to bring back COD. 4 years of development for Black Ops 6 was supposed to bring back COD. And we have the same complaints year after year after year. It's not bringing back COD, because I'll tell you this, the developers don't know what the community wants. Because the community is extremely divided right now. Some people absolutely love Omni Movement. They think this is peak FPS gaming because everything is so fast and so arcadey. While other people think that the game needs to slow down, become more tactical again, become more grounded. And that's really the problem. You have two sides that are fighting constantly about what's best for Call of Duty. And it's disappointing that Call of Duty constantly wants to only feed one side of this. For example, MW2 was the pendulum swung all the way to slow and tactical. There was no middle ground. And then they decided to kind of swing it closer to the middle with MW3, even though I'd argue that their decisions to constantly pump out small maps really negated the fact that it was a good middle ground for movement. And then with Black Ops 6, they again swung the pendulum all the way to the other side for jittery, fast-paced movement. And it really leaves a lot to be desired, because what Treyarch has been focusing on this year is small maps, quick engagements, constantly feeding you dopamine. That's what they're doing. And I fear they're going back down that route with Black Ops 7, because we know Omni Movement's going to return. It's going to be refined. It's going to be optimized. That's going to be the marketing speak they go with. And yet the pendulum is going to be swung all the way to that fast-paced, jittery movement. And that's the problem. We already had that once. We don't need it twice. This is repeating a similar mistake that Call of Duty made during the advanced movement era. They went advanced movement, advanced movement, advanced movement. Here's a really slow game, World War II. And that's the problem. When you're constantly swinging the pendulum to the extremes, the middle ground gets negated and people just feel disenfranchised. Like, yeah, I liked World War II. But it was a complete departure from the craziness that was the advanced movement era. It grounded the game again for sure, and I'm not going to deny that. But for a lot of people, it was jarring to go from wall running and double jumping all the way down to boots on the ground, no sliding, none of that. And that's the problem with Call of Duty right now. They don't understand the movement pendulum at all. And they swing it far too much to one side and then try to overcorrect too much to the other side. And I just think it's a massive problem. And it's one that they're going to be facing with Black Ops 7. Which brings us back to the original quote. Saying that Black Ops 7 is going to be a lot like Black Ops 2 competitively is just so misleading to me. Because they've lost the plot when it comes to competitiveness in Call of Duty. By integrating so much SBMM and EOMM, or whatever you want to call it, into the matchmaking system, rips the competitiveness out of Call of Duty. And then you have ranked play, which is already broken because they won't address the cheater problem. So how is it going to feel the same? Because the evidence that's laid out in front of us is that Black Ops 6 matches are constantly getting unbalanced. And what I mean by that is this. Go to Twitter, go to Reddit, look at how many people are commenting on the fact that when they're playing a game of Black Ops 6, their lobbies become half full midway through the game because people leave. They're sick and tired of the matchmaking system because it's just flat out broken, and they won't talk about that. So again, how is that going to feel like Black Ops 2? Are you going to completely revamp the matchmaking system? You might have to, but guess what? If they do, they probably won't tell us, because heaven forbid being transparent at all with this franchise. They won't do it. They're scared to, it seems like. But anyways, those are my thoughts on this. I know it's a lot to kind of go off on just one quote from one developer, but when you say things like that, and you say that this game is going to be reminiscent of what a lot of people would argue is the best Call of Duty ever, you have to back that up. And unfortunately, Treyarch's track record, especially this year, doesn't allow them the benefit of the doubt here. It just doesn't. They have not lived up to their words. They have not lived up to all of their marketing or what they were telling us this year was going to be. It's been a disappointment. Let's call it what it is. So when you're telling me that Black Ops 7 is going to be improved, it's going to be better, I'm not going to take it at face value. I'm not going to believe you, because you lied to me before. I'm not going to be made to look like a fool again. So those are my thoughts. Honestly, at the end of the day, I hope that Black Ops 7 is going to be like Black Ops 2. I'd love for that to happen. I just don't believe it, and I don't think you should either. Anyways, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.